it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020, and as promised I have brought you a Happy New Year project. I'm using the It's Only Going to Be Here a Little Bit Longer Sip Hooray bundle, because I'm using the dies as well. Let me grab those. So this is the stamp set, and then I've got two of the dies that I'm going to be using, which are these two. But it's so gorgeous. I'm really sad that it's not going to carry over, because it's great for all sorts of occasions, not just for Christmas and New Year. Anyway, it's going. It is still available to buy, and it is still available to buy at the bundle price, I want to say. Let me just get my... Yes, as far as I can tell, it is not being discounted. So you want to get it at the bundle price, which is up here. So don't miss out on that. You've got until tomorrow night to order. If you're in the UK, then if you would like to shop with me, that would be fantastic. The link for that is below. And do remember, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would be thrilled. It gives me a little tingle every time my subscriber numbers go up. And of course, if you enjoy the video, a thumbs up is always nice. So this card is using, obviously, the martini glass and the lemon slices. The lemon slices are great because they do actually have the cut in them. So it's really easy. Let me show you how I've made it. I have done a little bit of prep, but only because otherwise it's rather a long video. But let me start with a scrap of the shimmer white in card. It's, I don't know if you can tell that it's got the shimmer white card, but it is shimmer white card, and then I will show you what I've done for the paint. So we're going to start with, because we're embossing, Embossing Buddy. And as you may know, I always keep my Versamark ink pad upside down, and I keep my Embossing Buddy on top of it, which means I always remember to use my Embossing Buddy. Just one of those kind of, you know, little things that I do just to help along the day and make sure that I don't forget to do things. So ink up well, and we're going to do 2 of those. Now I can see where I've stamped, so I know that everything's okay. And then I'm going to ink up my lemon slice and just pop that there. And another one, and pop that there. And then that is it for now for embossing. We do need to do one more bit of embossing, but for the moment we are good to go. And I'm just going to dabble this into my box of gold embossing powder. And this way. And I am going to die cut these out, so I'm not too worried if I've got embossing powder on the outsides of the scrap, but I don't really want it on the inside of where I am going to be painting. Right, let me grab my trusty cheese board and my heat tool and just blitz my embossing. So I hope you are getting excited about the new spring-summer catalogue, and of course Celebration, which is a great time to either shop or host or join. So the shop offer is for every £45 you spend, you get to choose an item from the Celebration catalogue, a level 1 item. And if you spend £90, you either get 2 level 1 or 1 level 2 item. And there are some amazing items to choose from. There's designer series paper, there's sequins, there's twine, there are of course stamps. It wouldn't be Celebration without stamps. So that's that. I am very quickly going to just jump ahead while I've got my heat tool hot. I have die cut the bubbles, out of a piece of, again, shimmer white paper. This is the bubble die. So I've die cut that, and it just gives that lovely bubbly finish. It means that I can see the colour through from the other side. So again, Embossing Buddy, and I've got the Hooray, which is from the same stamp set, because I thought that was fairly appropriate for New Year's Eve, because these were made for New Year's Eve. We spent an evening, well obviously we haven't by the time I'm making this, but we spent the evening with some friends down in London, so that was nice. Some very, very old friends of ours, and there were a few of us there, so that was really nice. Okay, I think I want a little bit more on there, if I can get a bit more on there. There we go. That's better. And then just make sure that we've got any excess off. And again, I don't mind too much if it's on the back, I just don't want it in the wrong place on the front. So let me just clip my box back together before that goes flying, knowing my ability to send things flying, and grab my cheese board again, and say while my gun is still hot, always a good moment to go in and do the next bit of embossing. I'll just do it from the back as well, just to help flatten it out a little bit. And there we go. Right. Okay. Pop my cheese board away. And I've got my piece of Melon Mambo, which is the pink that I'm using. I'm going to stick this down now so that it can be setting properly while I do the other bits. And I'm going to use a reasonable amount of the multi-purpose liquid adhesive. This is now available to order if you're in Europe. There is a different number. For Europe, you can at the moment only order 3 per order, but from the beginning of celebration, I understand we will be able to order however many we want, because we've managed to fill all the back orders, and we've got spare stock, because we've got lots coming in. We've got 2 years supply coming in between now and June, so I believe the limit is being removed, so that's good. Okay, so this is probably the fiddliest bit, because you've got to get adhesive in amongst the bubbles, or the holes, and I'm going to pop this underneath my really large block and get that flat. So I'm going to pop that to one side for the moment. I guarantee you I'm going to forget where I've put it. So when I can't remember where I've put it, tell me it's over there. Okay, so these I need to obviously die cut, but in true Blue Peter fashion, here are some I've prepared earlier, so that just cuts down on the amount of time we have to spend doing things like die cutting. I have got on my block here some Frost White shimmer ink, and I've picked up some Melon Mambo and some Daffodil Delight, and just with an aqua painter. I may need to add more of both, so I'm going to start by shaking the bottle and just grab some more shimmer paint, pop that there, and a little bit more over there. And then let's just get as much of that down as possible. And I've got a dirty cloth here. Well, I say dirty cloth, it's a rag. It's not actually that dirty. It's to clean my brush on, so I can get as much of the shimmer paint off as possible before I add some more ink. And I'm just taking it from the lid of my ink pad and then mix that in, so you get this lovely shimmery pink, and obviously you can add more pink if you want. And then there is a stamp that you can use. You don't have to paint these in, but I wanted this shimmery effect I have to say that I then forgot that there were straight lines when I came to pop my glasses together. So it looks more like it's a set jelly because the line doesn't, yeah. Anyway, it seemed like a good idea when I did it, and I'm just going to repeat because you know what? Sometimes life is just too short to worry about these things. And I think it's a good thing to start the year without worrying too much. Things will come and trip you up along the way anyway, so let's not make more obstacles for us than we need. And of course there is now the whole debate of, have we started a new decade? So does the new decade start with the 0 number, or does it start with the 1? So we're either in a new decade now, or we're about to enter, or we've got another year before we enter one. I really don't know. Clearly we're entering the 2020s, but whether that is officially a new decade, nobody seems to be able to tell me. So clearly I don't have enough to worry about. Okay, so let me just pick up a bit more Daffodil Delight. And you don't need much. Now, if you don't have the ink pads but you've got the markers, you can use the ink from the markers instead. Just scribble a bit onto the block and you're good to go. And then just add our shimmery ink onto our lovely heat embossed lemon. And I love that the die cuts out the slit for the lemon. I'll show you that properly in a minute. And then just make sure when you're using the shimmer paints that you do clean your brush nib carefully, because you don't want it to set hard, and it might otherwise. And then I just put the lid on. Oh no, that's not the lid for that. That's the lid for my piercing tool. Right, well I will find the lid at some point. It's probably under my nose, but I will find the lid and I will put it on. Okay, so we don't need that anymore, so I'll pop that to one side. All we need to do now is to put everything together. These will be a little damp, but not, it doesn't take that long to dry. So all I've got to do now is add my lemon slices onto each of my glasses. So all I need for that is a tiny drop of glue, one drop there, and then I'll need another drop on there, and then pick it up and add a drop on the back, and then this one is going to go on there, and I'll just pop a block on it for the moment, and then this one will go on the other glass. You don't need much adhesive, just a little blob. So this one will go on over here, and again I'll just pop a block on there for a moment. Bring back in my now reasonably flat melon mambo piece. Oh, actually, I know what else I can do before I stick that together. Let's pop that back under there, because I need to stamp the inside of my card. And this is before I've gone out and celebrated New Year. It's a bit of a worry, really. Okay, so I've got a stamp from the host set, or one of the host sets from the Autumn Winter catalogue, and I'm doing the here is to the new year bringing happy beginnings. Here is to the new year bringing happy beginnings. That's what I'm trying to say, and I'm just stamping that in Melon Mambo, and then I'm going to grab the lemon slice, which of course I've got holding something down, and just ink that up and pop that in the corner of the card, and don't need that anymore. And then I can add that to, I've got a black card base, just really so that it's got that really nice impact. And then just crease that firmly. Add liquid adhesive to the back. Where am I? Good grief, 15 minutes, that's ridiculous. So yes, I will list everything that I have used in the description bar below. There's also going to be a link there to my blog post, which will have close-up photos and a bit more information, as well as the measurements that you need to make this in either A4 using either metric or imperial measurements, or if you're in North America, using your 8.5 by 11 letter size cardstock. So it's all over on my blog. It's right at the bottom of my blog post, so you do need to kind of go through the post, but it is there right at the very bottom. And let's just add this on. And again, pop that down. Pop the lid on my glue and grab some dimensionals. And my recommendation for these martini glasses with a lemon attached is to stick one dimensional over the join between the lemon and the glass, then one in the middle, kind of towards the bottom of the or the top of the stem, I suppose is probably the better way of describing it, and then one at the bottom of the stem. And then we can have, just peel those off and pop one down. And this is where I say we're going to ignore the fact that the liquid should actually be running out of the glass. And then this one, and that's it. So I hope you had a lovely New Year's Eve and wish you a very, very good 2020. And enjoy the new catalogue when it arrives any day now. If you're in the UK, if you don't already have a demonstrator and you haven't received a catalogue, there is a form over on my website. If you just look for the catalogue tab, you can fill that form in and I can get one out to you free. So yeah, obviously it would be great if you then chose to shop with me. Thank you very much indeed. As I say, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be fantastic. Have a lovely 2020 and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!